Lesson 331. There is no conflict, for my will is yours. How foolish, Father, to believe your Son could cause himself to suffer. Could he make a plan for his damnation and be left without a certain way to his release? You love me, Father. You could never leave me desolate, to die within a world of pain and cruelty. How could I think that love has left itself? There is no will except the will of love. Fear is a dream and has no will that can conflict with yours. Conflict is sleep and peace awakening. Death is illusion, life eternal truth. There is no opposition to your will. There is no conflict, for my will is yours. Forgiveness shows us that God's will is one and that we share it. Let us look upon the holy sights forgiveness shows today, that we may find the peace of God. Amen.
Beautiful lesson. There is no conflict, for my will is God's. I feel that takes us to the identity issue, the problem with identification, identifying as a person. All the things that is about that person that makes the mind training clear. To see all the things that is about that person is kind of conflicting with being at one with God. Because it takes up mind space, it preoccupies with maybe with opinions, most often with emotions, habits, preferences, many
worries comes to mind.
Worries. Fears. So it's a constant preoccupation. So to remember it's an identity issue will help with the mind training, because you can start to go within and kind of release the self-concept. Wanting to be heard, wanting to be seen. We look at what is the fear underneath. If you're not in control, are you afraid you would die? Are you afraid you would be hated, or you won't get what you need? To take a look, to ask why, what is underneath the different aspects of the personal identity. It's a very good use of time. So good use of time and space. Like, the space you have now here is very good to use for that. To go within, to take time with God. Look at the different fears that come up. Problems. Do you want to share, Solveig? How are you doing? You're having some concern. In what way do you believe you're Solveig this morning?
Just in the way that feeling so wrong.
Feeling wrong?
Yeah.
Why do you feel wrong? What is the thought?
this experience, just anyone questioning what I'm doing and not doing makes me feel wrong. Totally wrong.
So you felt question?
Not wrong, actually. Oh, what was the word? I have it. Just being a total failure. That was it.
Did someone question what you're doing?
And it's just small things, you know. Me making porridge. That was when it came up this morning. And afterwards, Peter asking about, did I put this in or this in and this in, and I didn't. And I just felt like total failure. And it was never said after, and even you saying this about not being ready, I was actually sitting here when you wrote.
I know that. You didn't tell me, but I know you were ready.
Yeah. But I still feel like a failure.
Yeah, it's the bad habit. It's the world will reflect, you know, feeling like a failure, believing you're a failure. So Peter's words about the porridge is just a reflection of that belief that was already there.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's part of the identity. The small identity is feeling like a failure.
Yeah.
So we're just here to clear that belief, clear that pain. It is hard to walk around in the world and feeling like a failure all the time.
Yes. And you're saying that we have the time here to go inward and look at everything and be with God, and I'm like, I realize when someone else here say, no, I want to be, you know, I want to go inward, I want to do something else. I have this strong belief that, and I have a lot of emotions about it, and it's like, yeah, but I can't do that. And then there's this really jealousy about everyone else can do that, but I can't.
Why
I
can't
don't know, it might go together with the feeling of being failure. Like, if I do that, then I might not do what's expected of me, and then I will feel like a failure, and I really don't want that. It's a terrible feeling.
Well, saying yes to God can often feel like saying no to the world. Take some space for it.
But I would feel it like saying no to the community here, and then I would feel like I can't do that.
Well, it can feel that way.
Like it would be so selfish of me to say no.
But I heard you did it this morning. You were sitting with a lesson. It took time. But that's what the whole time here is for, too. Is to follow the spirit and not the ego. So, of course, that is okay. In fact, it's even more okay to invite everybody to join in that. to address if it's too busy, and to say we need to take some time and go within. That would be truly helpful. Because if you disturb a community by going for spirit, then the whole purpose of the community is off. If it's joining with bodies, or then it's not what it is about.
Yeah. For me, it's still really difficult with the practical thing about having something like this functioning.
It is.
It's really conflicting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if I do that and everyone do that, then there'll certainly not be anything here.
Well, that's it though. The ego believes that going within all would be chaos.
Yes.
The Spirit is saying no, all would be love. The chaos is not doing that. Even to say, let's take time out. Let's just take time out to be with God, even for 5 minutes, and then start whatever project and plan.
Even making the porridge today, Peter, he asked, actually, are you sure you want to do it? It's just not just because you sacrifice yourself to go and make it. And I was like, no, I actually felt like going and make it. And yet I was out there, and suddenly the time came in, and I need to be ready, go brush my teeth. So I was actually running between it, and it got burned, and a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it is for me most of the time.
Mm-hmm. So your project is to transcend anxiety, the wrongness, the fear, to pray a lot and be with it a lot, When you make porridge, it's a meditation. When you go to the bathroom, it's a meditation. When you brush your teeth, it's a meditation. When you get ready, it's a meditation. To forgive that wrongness, that self-attack, that fear. It's a fear of the external world, but fear of punishment. It's the fear of messing up. But we're here to heal. We're not here for anything else. So the things you do are just backdrops. They're not serious.
And I began to see that.
Mm.
And yet still it's like so easy to fall in, and
I think you're doing great. You're seeing a lot and going for the healing. Just to keep trusting yourself, trusting the desire you have to heal, to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And don't give up until the fear is removed. The ego will say, you must do this now, you must do this first. There isn't enough time. Just say no to that. No, I want to transcend the anxiety. I want to be free of that. So I'm going to just sit for a minute, for 10 minutes, or for an hour. I'm just going to sit with this. I'm not going to serve the ego.
been looking a lot of all the grievances come up if anyone else here do that. And have been good at looking at that. Even saying it out loud at times. It's funny when you mention it, I still have this part I haven't looked at.
Yeah. And it's good you have a bedroom, you can sit in there if you know, or sit outside, or too. You can follow what feels gentle.
Even go to the beach. Haven't been to the beach since I've been there. Been to the shops close to the beach, but otherwise no.
Yeah.
Just came up. It's like no, can't do that. No time. Oh.
Yeah, now you have all time. You have all time for healing. Nothing is more important. Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah. Feels like I'm still struggling to believe that. Do you actually mean that?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you need that. I feel others may need practice with commitments, you know, but you need to find peace, you know, through just really allowing yourself time to go within. Yeah. Maybe you should be, I don't know what kind of setup you have with cooking and stuff. Maybe you should be taking off everything and practice just doing it from inspiration when it comes into you.
I did keep on like the kitchen overview and had this about be sure we have menus, call in for meetings if we need that, make a shopping list.
Yeah. If you want to keep that, you can, but you need to practice to doing it not from a push or a force inside, but from inspiration.
It has been really difficult for me. Very difficult.
To hand it over.
Yeah. I might need to let that go right now.
To let the kitchen go for a while. Yeah. Yeah. You take like 5 days and then we can talk again and reevaluate, you know, check in. It feels good. A retreat to undo anxiety for you. Beautiful. Do you need to mention anything as a handover to the other 3? Or can you just take your hands off and trust and let them? Thank you.
I have that feeling again today of kind of being unclear. Like I'm not kind of tuned in with something or connected with something. Like the day ahead seems I'm disconnected with it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that, sometimes that just happens. Something to do with function maybe, or pushing away something. I remember that you That used to be the way in community before. I'd get that feeling when I've pushed away something, not looking at something. But I don't know what it is at the moment. I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if it even is that functioning.
Guidance. I think it's always about tuning into guidance. Because the spirit is so practical. You know, it's like what really is the guidance now? Because that's the answer.
Yeah, I think I know what it is. It just came to me. Pushing away guidance. That's what it is. Pretty sure. I don't know how many times I've said before I go to bed, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up when I hear a prompt from Spirit. I must have said that countless times. Then the morning comes and I don't. That's been just repeating over and over. Well, actually, I did get up when I was prompted this morning. I sat up and I'd done some function. I was doing something on the laptop. It was about 5 o'clock, and I felt that was it. I wasn't going to go back to bed. But then a thought came in, oh, I am going to go back to bed. I think that was it then. And I knew as soon as I lay down, I was like, this isn't given. But I was like, I don't care. I could feel the cold kind of.
Yeah, that's to have the willingness, but also to support, okay, what helps you to do that and follow that guidance, to get a cup of tea or to make sure you're warm, just,
there are things,
because the ego will otherwise take over. Willingness. Guidance is one thing, and you may hear guidance, but if you're not willing to follow it, it's to no avail. It's no purpose. So it's following the guidance that's really it. What it's about. So how was the thaw last night?
It was good.
It's very good.
I've seen it a few times. I think Marion, it was her first time to watch it. Yeah, I think you seemed to enjoy the thaw, didn't you? You like the metaphysics, the deep stuff.
The thaw last night, Marion, you enjoyed it?
What?
It was helpful. The thaw.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the start.
Metaphysics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, seeing really the ego at work.
Yeah.
And how strong it is.
I don't understand it yet, but I want, and we decided to look at another time. So, but to get that really kind of also straight, basically, it's kind of feeling in alignment to what I shared before.
It's so much joining with bodies in there, and we're all happy here, he's saying, and they dance, and they have masks on.
But he hates them really, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Just hates.
madness, control. And
Such an ugliness.
and personal identity, the being a baby or being old, or like the Chinese guy, So it shows all of it in the ego's grip. You're on the timeline. And also to get out of the ego, you can't through fight. The ego just loves to fight. So
Bargaining.
what's that?
Or bargaining.
Or bargaining, yeah. Only through wisdom, only through acknowledging that it was never real, but that God is.
Like having a tantrum, I saw that.
What's
I
that?
felt like, I think I found myself in it, afterwards sharing. And then I found myself like almost like acting like him. I could see it coming through me, like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that, you know. And yeah, I could really feel that energy of the ego, you know, that just wants this, doesn't know what it wants, and fucking never really is happy.
Never clear.
You're never clear, and like a little kid having a tantrum. Yeah, and it's like, wow, you know, oh, and then it came this morning, like, yeah, that's what I was seeing. That's why I couldn't bear to watch him, you know, because it's like, oh God, you know. And I know that it's true, right? And I'm not, I didn't want to make myself feel guilty, you know, or anything, but just, do you know what I mean? I could just feel like, well, I have to forgive myself for that, you know, for thinking I know better than God, or whatever, you know. And ego would get hold of that as well, right, and go like, yeah, you're just a horrible, selfish, spoiled child or something. But, do you know what I mean? Because that's what the ego's going to do all the time, isn't it? Just be horrible. But there was something in that, like, nobody wants to look at that, right?
Yeah, it's both sides. Elation or like lifting up the ego or putting it down, you know, the self-concept. Grandiosity or...
What, Jenny?
Grandiosity or self-hatred, you know, both are just two aspects of the same self-concept. Yeah.
It reminds me to bipolar disorder in a psychiatric term.
Yeah, it's bipolar, the ego is.
That's what it's playing on.
It's everything, really. It's bipolar, delusional.
Schizophrenic,
Every single one of those things apply.
Yeah.
Social phobic.
Dissociation.
Because it is madness, right?
Schizophrenic.
Yeah, insanity.
The whole enchilada, basically.
Enchilada.